What's up, all of y'all? All right, let's see if this thing's actually working. Trying a new program today, new software that apparently can simulcast really easy from your browser to Facebook Live and YouTube Live at the same time. I just signed up for a trial of it. Of course, I didn't read the directions, and now I'm going to try to see if it's working. So, step numero uno. Let's see if this is going on Facebook. Oh, I got to press this button here. All right. So apparently now it's going on Facebook. All right, guys. So if you're watching this on Facebook, then you dismissed me telling you that I'm testing a streaming service I've never used before and didn't read the directions. But it appears, looking in the monitor here, that it's actually live streaming to both Facebook and YouTube at the same time, which is pretty cool. That's amazing. All right, let me have a look over here and see if this thing appears to be working, at least on my end. All right, so I don't know what I'm looking for here. Let's see if I can hear you guys, or if you can hear me, rather. If you're watching and you're live on this thing, type like yes or I can hear you or something. The program I'm using is called crowdcast.io. So far, super simple. I think you can create like registration pages and stuff through this thing as well, if you want to do webinars and all that kind of goodness. But I don't know if I can actually I don't see you guys in here. So I might just be talking to myself right now, which wouldn't be the first time by any means. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. So I can see you guys on Facebook, but for whatever reason, the comments are not porting over to whatever I call this thing here. So that's probably just me being dumb and not knowing how to do it. But I see you guys on Facebook. Hey, Darren. Hey, Lewis. How y'all doing? Hey, Marius. What's happening, man? I saw you in the kernclass.com today. That was cool. All right, let's go over here to the YouTubes and see. Oh, no way. All right, you guys can see me on YouTube too. Okay, so I probably read the directions wrong, but I can't see your comments and stuff in Crowdcast. And I think I'm supposed to. So hang on. Let's just have a look here. All right, so I'm probably doing that wrong, so I'll ignore it. But man, this is pretty cool. Okay, so great little app, crowdcast.com or .io rather, crowdcast.io allows me to stream to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. That's crazy. There's probably a way I can see the comments coming in from both systems. Again, I did not read the directions because that's that would just be stupid. All right. So anyway, I'm glad all this is working. Let me give you guys some behind the scenes numbers. Crazy day today. Been a super busy weekend, which is why you didn't see me over the weekend. My apologies on that one. And a really kind of a wild and hectic week. So we had a branding class live on Thursday at my headquarters here in California. We had another one on Friday. So two different groups, two different one-day boot camps. They both went incredibly well. And then this weekend we were packing. Right now, as I record this for you, there are movers at my house, and they're putting stuff in a truck because we're out of here, Florida bound on Thursday. So all our cars, like everything's being shipped today. So we're going to be in a pretty much empty house, no cars. I got to borrow somebody's cars and stuff from today up until Thursday, and then we out on Thursday. No Mas Franco, which is cool. So we're moving to Miami. We're really excited about that. Let me give you guys some interesting news. So on December 1st last year, I removed head from rectum and was like, I think I'm going to see what happens if you just use social media like other people that make a lot of money on social media are using it. And of course, I decided to put a little twist on there. So prior to December, never really did anything on social other than advertise, like paying for it, So, man, I don't know what our ad budget is every month. It's about $100,000, give or take. It has been, forever. And we'd spend 100 and we'd maybe make 120, and it was like cool, but dude, it's a lot of money. So on December 1st, I was like, okay, I'm going to start posting on social a lot on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and instead of doing what everyone else is doing, I'm going to try something different. So every post has always tried to do these three things. Number one, provide something of value to the audience, novel concept. Number two, deliberately foster and build goodwill. And number three, make an offer. And I think everybody who posts always tries to provide value and deliver, and create goodwill. So I think the real big difference here was this making an offer in every single post. And by the way, I don't mean like, hey, go buy my stuff. Like, I'll make the offer now. The strategy that I've been using, I'll kind of cover the results of today. It's called intent-based branding. If you want to see how it works, go to kernclass.com. There's a video on that webpage. I don't need your email address. You can just watch it. Pretty good. If you like it, there's a class you can take. If you don't want to take the class, no problem. That's the type of offers I'm talking about, right? So not like your typical internet marketing, buy this stuff or it's the end of the world or whatever, just kind of like, hey, man, there's a thing. You can go check it out. So started on December 1st, started promoting my book at frankkernbook.com. And then late December and really more into January, started shifting into selling our branding class, which is at kernclass.com. And leading up to this event that I taught on Thursday, I decided to go back and look at the stats and see what the revenue had been for the past 30 days. So from January 21st up until Thursday, which was February 21st. Then I've got the stats with you, or I've got the stats to go over for you. And this is bonkers. All right. So hang on. To go all the way back to the beginning, the stats since December 1st, we've sold, where are you? $790,000 worth of stuff, which is like awesome. This is all from using intent-based branding, by the way. So again, if you want to learn it, go to kernclass.com. There's just a video tutorial on a page there. If y'all would write that in the comments for me, I'd appreciate it so people can just click it and not have to remember it. kernclass.com. Don't need your email address. You can just go whenever you want and see the tutorial like on the deeper dive. So today I'm just going to take you behind the scenes. All right. So that's pretty cool from December 1st until Thursday. That was the volume. But then over the last 30 days, since January 21st up until February 21st, which is when I pulled these numbers, all we've really been promoting is the branding class. All right. So that 30-day chunk was $490,524, which is awesome. And here's how it breaks down. All right. So in intent-based branding, we've got 3 pillars. All right. Pillar number 1 is you go live like this, and you do it on Facebook or YouTube or whatever platform you like. I like to do it on Facebook. And so you go live, you give people your website a lot, you help them out, you're giving cool stuff, and you're just like delivering good content. It doesn't need to be fancy. Most of my stuff is like this. I'm shooting this from my laptop with this little, what's it called, crowdcast.io software that's pretty awesome. A lot of times I just use my phone, like regular old, posting stuff on Facebook and being cool. The difference is, again, every single post always makes an offer, and most of the time the video. So that's phase number 1 of it. Phase 2 is the post that you make when you're going live, you're not really making it for when it's live. Most of your viewers come in after you've already made it, which is kind of obvious there. And what's really cool is if you create something today, you can continue to reuse that in various formats. And I call that creating assets. So that's our second pillar. And the third pillar of intent-based branding is advertising, which is an optional pillar. But it's basically people are watching your stuff. You can retarget them with ads if you want. All right. So here's the breakdown kind of across all 3 pillars. All right. So the first pillar I want to share with you, let me make sure everything's working. I think we're all good. Yeah, cool. We're all good. See how YouTube's doing. This is unbelievable how well this thing's working, man. This is great. Okay, so here's the breakdown. All right. So here's one that I thought would really crush it. All right. But really didn't do it. It did great, but it didn't do as well as I thought. So this is past 30 days again. Every time I'm on Facebook Live, I'll like say, hey, go to kernclass.com. And a lot of times I'll remember to put the kernclass.com link in the what do you call it, description or the headline or whatever on Facebook Live. And then I'll say like, hey, go to kernclass.com, and I'll ask y'all to put it in the comments like I just did. So you would think that since we go live, I'm going live almost every day. Like this weekend, kind of missed it. We're packing and everything. Generally speaking, I'll do it every day. You'd think that would be where the most traffic came from. It worked pretty good, but the sales volume from that little chunk was $41,874. Now, again, this is just past 30 days. But that's still pretty cool. But I thought, okay, man, that's where it's mostly going to come, because like you're watching this right now, this video is going to be on Facebook or whatever forever. If you're watching it on YouTube, it'll be, actually, I don't know if I'm doing YouTube right, so it might not show up after this stream. Who knows? But I thought that would be where the most traffic comes from, But that was only $41,874. Now, here's something crazy, okay? This is pure luck. I want to go ahead and tell you right now, this was blind luck. When I first started, I was like, I'm going to be saying my website a lot. I guess I'll register some domains that are easy to use, or easy to remember. So kernclass.com, easy to remember, like, all right, what was it? All right. The guy's name is Kern. He's teaching a class, kernclass.com, which you guys should go to, by the way, if you want a deeper dive on how all this stuff works. And same with my book, frankkernbook.com, So went on Thursday, go through all the analytics and stuff, right? And check this out. People hearing me say kernclass.com 700 billion times. All right. And then like after the fact, not clicking on anything, literally just going to the internet and like typing in the domain name. So we call it type in traffic. Nope, not click anything, just typing it in. The total sales volume there was, I'm looking on my screen now, $149,550. Which, I mean, I've checked that damn stat every which way from Sunday. So that's insane. That's like, you've got to be freaking kidding me. Which really does play into the aspect of intent-based branding, which is, look, we don't just do Facebook. You don't just do YouTube. You don't just do Instagram. You don't just do podcasts. I'll take one piece of content like this, like what I'm creating for you right now, and then I'll multi-purpose it across everything. Like right now, I'm streaming live to Facebook and YouTube. This will likely turn into a podcast later. So all of that stuff, like being multi-purposed. I think so many people are being exposed to the domain name kernclass.com, that they're just going, right? They remember it later. So that's pretty freaking cool. I was like, okay, this is awesome. All right, so that kind of covers pillar number one of intent-based branding. You make this content and you make your offer and you have an easy to remember domain name, and it's pretty good. So people clicking it in the lives and stuff, about 40-something grand, and people, what's the number again? People remembering the domain name, $149,550. Nuts, okay? Now, the second pillar of intent-based branding. Again, if you want a deep dive, like I'm only on for another 5 minutes. I have a phone call at 3 my time. If you want to deeper dive and like really good behind the scenes thing of like, hey, here's the numbers and here's the types of posts and everything, go to kernclass.com. You don't have to opt in for anything. There's just a video on a web page. If you like it, you like it. All right. So the second pillar of intent-based branding is this idea where you take the stuff that you built. Like I would take this, this video now, for example, and then you repurpose it like in a week or something. So we started doing that in earnest, like really, really intensively in early February. I think we started on the 6th of February. All right. So you probably, if you follow me on Facebook or whatever, or even on YouTube, you'll see like, it's the video that has the headline over it and all this stuff. And you can obviously tell it was taken from like, a Facebook Live or whatever, just turned into something fancier. So we're doing that. We're doing the quote cards and everything, and we're tracking every single one of them. All right. So that's the second pillar, which is to turn the things you're making now into assets and reuse them. And we have a formulaic way of doing it. So, dude, where are we? Okay. So type in. All right. So now this has been going on since February 6th. So what's today? The 25th. So not even 20 days, almost 20 days, that's done $53,838 in sales. That was a surprise to me. I didn't know that it would do that much because, a reposted video or whatever, it doesn't usually get the reach that a Facebook Live will or whatever, but it's still working really, really well. I mean, dude, that's a lot of money, so 53,838. And so that's our second pillar there, which is, I call it the assets. So, as you know, I don't live on social media or whatever. I'm not on here all the time, but we do probably 6 to 10 posts a day. And all of the material is coming from like one single video that I'll make. So we have a system in our branding classes called content expansion. We'll take one Facebook Live video and turn it into a couple dozen posts that can be used across Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff. So that's working really, really well. I'm real happy with that because that's very, very new. Now, the third pillar of intent-based branding. Again, this is an optional pillar. All right. It's something I recommend you do if you've got a little bit more experience. So like we don't spend any money at all in the first two pillars, and you want to kind of do that for a while until, you know what messages are working and all of that. And then when you're ready, and again, this is optional, when you're ready, you start running ads, but you start running ads to, let me get back over here. So there we go. You start running ads to all the people who are watching the stuff that you're putting out for free. So if I go live on Facebook, and when I do this on YouTube as well, YouTube, Facebook, they'll like take someone who's watching this and they'll add them to an audience. And so I can then go say, hey, show me everyone who's watched at least, 10 seconds of one of my live videos over the past week. And I'll be like, all right, now I don't know who you are personally. It doesn't show me that, but it'll be like, okay, there's, 20,000 people in this audience. And then I can just run an ad just to those people. Now, the reason that works really, really well is because it removes any uncertainty about who should you show your stuff to, because they're the ones who already know you, So like we started doing that pretty heavy. We've been doing that pretty heavy a long time, but this month it really kicked into gear, probably because I've been doing this since December 1st. So the audiences, people who are watching my stuff are getting bigger and bigger because I keep doing it every day. Check this out, man. This is unbelievable. All right. So here it is. Here's how much we spent on ads. All right. This is from January 21st until Thursday. So when I pulled these numbers, we spent $26,685.08. Now I want to know, I'm going to come over here to the Facebooks first. I would love to have a guess of, oh my gosh, my video quality on Facebook looks terrible, guys. Sorry. I'd love to know a guess. All right. Of what you think that brought in. We spent 26 grand. What do you think that the sales were? All right, I'm going to look over here to YouTube as well. Both of you guys, my video looks terrible. I'm so sorry. Must be, I don't know what it is. Maybe my bandwidth is weird or something. All right. Yeah, Chris, you're right. I am getting a terrible picture. That's so bizarre. No idea why that happened, but what can you do, right? We'll press on. All right, so let's see. I don't have got nothing even close. I'll tell you. All right. I'll tell you what it is. Here we go. I can't believe you guys are watching this. There's still like 50 something people on Facebook watching this unbelievably blurry video. Okay. So here it is. The total sales from a $26,000 ad spend as of Thursday, the 21st, $212,361 in revenue. Unfreaking believable, right? That's almost a 10 times return on our investment there, which is like, I've never experienced that in my life. Nothing that dramatic, So all of the pillars are really, really working, and they're all firing on all cylinders, and it's working freaking great. And I like it. And another thing that we've learned is there doesn't seem to be any ceiling to this. All right. For you guys who are watching the blurriest video in history, there doesn't seem to be any ceiling to this, which is amazing. Meaning like the more of it you do, the more results you get. And it also doesn't seem to matter if it's like not fancy looking. Like literally right now, 63 people watching this, and I look like a ghost on the, I'm looking at the monitor right now. I look like pixelated, but you're still watching it. So pretty freaking cool, So what we started doing, and what I recommend anyone who's doing this do, is really started upping the amount of stuff we're putting out. So I went to a daily podcast 7 days ago. I think it's exactly 7 was on like Friday or something. And our downloads almost doubled within that period. So that's fantastic. We're trying to put even more live stuff out, even more posts out. And the more we do it, the more money comes in. So for us, if you want to see like a tutorial on exactly everything that's working, and you want to see it in video that actually looks good and doesn't look blurry and horrible, go to kernclass.com. I don't, excuse me, I don't need your email address. You can just watch it as a video on a web page. It's very, very helpful. My apologies about this audio or video quality. No idea why this is so weird. Maybe because I have too many tabs open on my browser or something. I'm not sure, but regardless, thank you all so much for watching. So far, pretty happy with this little app that I'm streaming through right now. It's called crowdcast.io. I don't think it's their fault that the video is blurry. I think it's because I have too much stuff open on my computer. I'll try it again later and we'll see. But thanks y'all so much for watching this. I appreciate it. Once again, if you want to take a deeper dive tutorial, just go to kernclass.com. Nothing to sign up for. To see that video, it's just a video on the page. I think you'll dig it. All right. Now, let's see. I'm going to sign off, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right. Have a good one.